Vancouver, it's one of those cities that almost doesn't look real when you see it online. Every video, every photo, everything you come across makes it look like this perfect combination of mountains, water, and skyline all in one place. And the thing is, when something looks that good online, there's always that question in the back of your mind. Is it actually like that when you get there? Or is it just one of those places that looks better on camera than it does in real life? And at the same time, you keep hearing the same comments over and over. People say it's expensive, people say it's overrated, and some even say once you spend a few days there, it doesn't really justify the hype. Now, we've been to Vancouver multiple times, so this isn't really a first impression. But every time we come back, we still end up asking the same question. Is it actually worth it, or are we just remembering it better than it really is? This time was a bit different because we didn't try to plan anything specific. There was no checklist, no must-see spots, nothing like that.
Yeah, it was more like just being there again and seeing how it feels without forcing anything.
Exactly. Just walking around, driving through different areas, taking in the city the way you normally would if you weren't trying to do a trip.
And I think that actually gives you a more honest feel of a place, because the first time you visit somewhere, everything stands out. But after a few visits, you start noticing the details a bit more.
Yeah, and that's really what this is. Not a first impression, but more like, does it still hold up after you've seen it a few times already? The one thing that hasn't changed at all is just how visually impressive the city is without you even trying to look for it. You're not going out of your way to find views, you're not searching for nice spots, they just show up constantly. You turn a corner and suddenly you've got water in front of you, mountains in the background, and the full skyline right there, all in one frame. And what it makes it even more interesting is that it's not just one specific area that looks like that. It's pretty consistent across the city. You move around, you change neighborhoods, and you still get that same feeling where everything just kind of comes together visually in a way that's hard to find in most places. Even after coming here multiple times, that part still stands out. It doesn't really lose its effect. If anything, you start noticing more of it because you're not focused on specific attractions anymore. You're just observing what's around you. And I think that's what makes Vancouver different. The environment, it's doing most of the work. You don't have to build the experience, you just step into it and it's already there.
But at the same time, I wouldn't say the city is perfect either. There are definitely areas that feel really clean and well maintained, especially around the waterfront or certain parts of downtown. But then you come across places that feel a bit rougher or not as polished.
Yeah, it's more of a mix than people might expect.
Exactly. It's not one of those cities where everything feels spotless all the time. It really depends on where you are.
But overall, it still feels easy to be there. Like, you don't feel lost, you don't feel like you're constantly trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it's comfortable. You can just move around the city without overthinking it, and that makes a big difference over a few days.
And that's probably where you start noticing more of the reality side of the city, especially after a few visits. There are definitely parts of downtown where things feel a bit rougher, where you see the homelessness, more people struggling, and it's not something you can really ignore once you come across it.
Yeah, it's not everywhere, but you do see it, it stands out.
Exactly, and it doesn't define the whole city, but it's part of it. And I think it's better to know that going in, instead of expecting everything to feel perfect all the time.
Because it doesn't take away from everything else, but it does change how you see certain areas.
Yeah, it just gives you a more complete picture of what the city actually is, not just what it looks like online. Outside of that, a big part of what makes Vancouver stand out is just the day-to-day experience of being there. Even simple things like walking through different neighborhoods or driving from one area to another feel more interesting than they normally would in other cities. You're constantly noticing something, whether it's the way the streets are laid out, how close everything feels to the water, or just how the city connects together. And it's not about specific attractions as much as it is about that overall feeling. You don't need to be doing anything special to enjoy it. Just being there, it's kind of the experience. And that's something that doesn't always come across in videos or photos, but you definitely feel it when you're there in person. But then you get to the part that everyone talks about, the cost. And yeah, you feel it pretty much right away. It's not just the big things like the hotels, it's the small everyday stuff that adds up quickly.
Yeah, like grabbing a coffee or something quick to eat, you notice it.
Exactly. Parking, food, just moving around, everything feels a bit higher than what you're used to.
And you adjust to it, but you don't really stop noticing.
Right, it's always kind of in the back of your mind. And I think that's where people start questioning whether it's worth it, because the experience has to justify the extra cost. If it didn't, it would be a lot harder to recommend coming here multiple times. I'm actually curious, would you still visit a place like this knowing how expensive it is? Or is that a deal breaker for you?
What do you like most about Vancouver?
So in Vancouver, I like the boat museum they have. And then they have like pools with actual salt water from the sea with no algae. And then the Stanley Park is also nice.
So when you look at everything together, the visuals, the overall experience, and the cost, the real question is whether it's actually balancing out. And honestly, I think it does.
Yeah, but not because it's cheap or easy.
Exactly, it's not that kind of place. It's worth it because what you see online actually matches what you get when you're there. The views are real, the atmosphere is real, and even after multiple visits, it still holds up.
You just have to go in with the right expectations.
Yeah, if you're expecting something cheap, you're probably gonna be disappointed. But if you're going for the experience itself, then it absolutely makes sense. So if you're thinking about coming to Vancouver, it's definitely worth it. Just know what you're getting into before you get there.
Follow along if you're planning a trip like this. We're breaking all of that down so you don't have to waste your money.
Because in a city like this, that part actually makes a big difference.